Welcome to my Finders Keepers market prep vlog. Now, it's literally the Friday where the market's starting this afternoon. I'm in my car at my studio about to head in to finish setting up, and the market starts at 4 p.m. This vlog is really detailed in that I actually redesigned my whole stall setup during this vlog. So instead of just using like trestle tables or other tables, I've actually switched to fold up shelving stuff. So it's good if you're looking at doing a stall setup that's a bit different, and also like what the important things are when you're doing a first big event like Finders Keepers. It's quite overwhelming especially if you haven't done it before, and there's a lot involved. So we go through a lot of the prep of my products. It starts about 2 weeks out. And yeah, it's a long one, but if you're into doing markets, or you're going to be, I hope you get something out of this, or you just like seeing how other people do stuff. I've got like unofficial rollers happening here. So I'm going to head into the market. I've started filming the actual market vlog, and I can't wait to share with you how it goes. Hopefully it goes really well. I'll be sharing all the sales and everything at the end of the next vlog, but for this one, it's just all about the prep. And yeah, it's a good one. So I probably won't get this uploaded till tomorrow morning now, because I'm literally heading into the Finders Keepers now. But once I upload it, I hope you enjoy it, and feel free to ask me any questions in the comments. Good morning. We are 2 weeks today out from Finders Keepers Design Market. So I thought, what a good time to start my Finders Keepers prep video to share with you all. I was going to start it weeks ago, but just didn't get there. It's literally just after 6 a.m. I have just gotten to my studio. I've been tossing and turning since 2:30 a.m. So at 5:30, I was like, just get up, go to the studio, get a couple of hours work done, and then I can go home and have a shower and get properly ready for the day. What I'm going to do this morning is just some, I don't even know, are they bisque fired? Yeah. I've got a whole heap of stuff that's been bisque fired that needs to have the transfer papers put on and the clear glaze. I currently am painting my clear glaze on. I have bought some dip glaze powder, but I haven't mixed it up yet because my teacher said you need to do it properly. So that's gonna save me so much time when I start doing the dip glaze, because you literally just dip your pieces in and it's done, instead of sitting there painting. I'm a little bit freaked out, but I'm also quietly confident. My list of products that I wanted to have made for Finders Keepers, the pottery side of it is nowhere near where I want to be. However, I'm much more ahead than I have been at previous events. So the one I did in October last year, I actually sold out of most of my pottery on the Saturday morning, and the event goes Friday night, all day Saturday, all day Sunday. I only ended up selling $3,000 for that whole event, when I probably could have doubled that if I had enough pottery made. So my targets for production this time around were probably, I would say 10 times what I had made for the October event. Like I said, I'm nowhere near getting to those goals on most items, but I've got a really good chunk of products made. And some products, like my sticker sheets, I've got heaps of, because I've started getting them manufactured instead of manufacturing them myself. I've got plenty of stickers, but the problem with stickers is they only sell for $5, so you've got to sell a shitload of stickers to make thousands of dollars. I've got my enamel mugs, which I haven't sold before, so I'm hoping they do okay. I've got about 90 of those. So although I'm not going to reach my targets on a lot of the pottery items, I have got some other items that I didn't account for, or I've got a lot more made than I had anticipated. So I think I'm going to be okay, but I really need to go hard just in the next couple of days to make sure that I get everything fired in time for the Finders Keepers, because I don't want to be at the event thinking, oh, I wish I'd just gone harder and made more. I'm just going to sit here this morning for 2 hours, put the transfer papers on, glaze, so when I pick up my next lot of firing today, I can drop off. I've got both bisque firing to drop off and glaze firing to drop off. So, and my firing service, the main one I use, she's constantly got the kiln on, so I should be right to get at least all of the stuff I've got ready to go done, and hopefully one more lot of bisque and glaze after this lot. Probably should talk about what even is Finders Keepers Market too, for those of you who don't know. In Melbourne and Sydney mainly, there are a few big design markets. They're generally held at the Royal Exhibition Building in Carlton Gardens. Finders Keepers is one of them. The big design market is another. And then Makers and Shakers is on the same level, but not quite as big. And they just do the Saturday and Sunday instead of the Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's really hard to get into these events. I have often been either flat out rejected or waitlisted over the years. This will be my 4th Finders Keepers. So I did my first one back in 2018 or 19. It was actually when they were still doing Brisbane. I got a debut stall there, which is when if it's your first time having a stall there, it's a bit cheaper. It used to be a smaller stall. Now I think it's the same size as a standard stall, which is 2x2. They're really expensive to attend. They currently now for Finders Keepers, it's about $17.50 for a 2 metre by 2 metre size stall. Big design market is even more. Makers and Shakers is less, but that's because it's only the 2 days, and I think it's 10 till 4. When I tell people how much the stall fee for these events are, they're like, why would you do that? It's so expensive. Because you can make a shitload of money at these events. So I know some people who make 5 figures, so $10,000 to $15,000 from these events. As doing it 3 times, I have not made anywhere near that much. The first 2 times, my main product at that point was my organic wheat bags that featured my artwork that I used to hand make. That was my main product. Unfortunately, only so many people want to buy wheat bags, so I never did as well as I would have liked to at those events. The Brisbane one, I think I sold about 2,500, and the stall cost me at that time about 600. But I took my middle child up with me, so flights and buying shelving and stuff there, hiring a car, it sort of worked out that I didn't really make much money. The second time I did it in Melbourne was just after COVID. It was 2022, and I barely broke even. I don't think I did break even. I actually have a vlog on that, and that was at the time that I kind of went, I'm so done with markets. I can't do this anymore because it's such an emotional roller coaster. The stall next to me at that time was one of those beeswax wrap companies, and she was down a lot from pre-COVID sales. She was one of the people that said to me that she used to make $16,000 easy at the big events like Finders Keepers, and I think she only sold like 5,000 at that event. So it was definitely down. Even still, I feel like now after COVID, it's been a really hard few years for markets and design events. And then I did the first one back with my new products, with my stickers and pottery, in October last year, 2024. And because I'd only really just started getting into pottery, I really wasn't in the headspace of having to get things ready. Or I was, but I just didn't do it. I'm very last minute. If you've seen my ChatGPT video, I've actually used that to help me stay on track, which has worked much better this time around. So I actually sold out of most of my pottery Saturday morning in the October market, and then I basically just had to sell my stickers for the rest of the event, which I sold lots of, but obviously you have to sell a lot more stickers at $5 each to get your sales up. So I did sell $3,000, and it cost me I think $17.50 then too. So although I didn't make a lot of money, I was really happy to know that I finally got a product that actually does really well at these events. So this time around, I've set some big targets for the pottery. So this was my whiteboard here. I set some really big targets, mini fairy houses that I only had about 15 or 20 at the last Finders Keepers, and they sold out so quickly, and I was selling them for $8. I'm now selling them for $12 or 2 for $20, and I will get to that 200 quantity. I've got quite a few here already, and I've also got quite a few coming out of the kiln this week, and some more going into the kiln. The small fairy houses, I will not have anywhere near 50. I will not have anywhere near 50 medium ones either. And I will not have anywhere near 20 large ones. I might get 10 large ones if I'm lucky. Currently, I only have 5, and they haven't even been bisqued yet. I don't know why. I just find it really hard to make the bigger ones. Mini vases, I think I will have 50 maybe, or I might have come close. I've only got 3 little ones here, but I've got quite a few going into the kiln today that I'm dropping off. And I think I've got a few coming out. So I probably could make some more of those over the weekend, and they'll dry quick enough because they're so small that I can get some more in. The $15 mini vases, 50, I probably will get close to that. I've got that many there now, and I've got quite a few that are just waiting to be glazed that I'm doing this morning. And then I think I've got some more coming out of the kiln as well that I'm picking up later today. That was the $20 ones. The $15 ones, I'm not sure that I'll get 50. I've got 6 sitting there. I might get a few more done, hopefully over the weekend maybe. And then the bigger vases, I'm kind of lacking. I wanted to sort of get 30 of each of the $30, $35, $45 ones. I really don't have anywhere near them. I'm probably going to get 10 big ones. And I actually have got a couple of really big ones, which I'll sell. That'll be like a $65 one. That'll be like an $85 or a $95 one. Now, last time I didn't have any mushrooms at all. So even if I don't get to my targets with the mushrooms, I'm happy just to have them. The mini mushrooms, I might get to 100, not 200. I've got quite a few here already, and I've got quite a few going into the kiln and coming out of the kiln this week. So the only problem is some of them aren't real steady. I've got a few of the bigger sizes. I've got some more coming out of the kiln this week, and I wanted 50 wall hangings. This is the one that I feel like I'll be sad about, because I feel like they're going to go really well, and I just haven't got enough made. I've got currently 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've got 9 made. I'm probably only going to get about 15 of those made, which is annoying because I feel like they will go well, but that's okay. And then I've got all of the coloring books done. I've got heaps of sticker sheets, original arts. I've got the linen prints. I just need to get a couple more bits of fabric printed. I'll probably put that order in today, and I'm on track with those. Like I said, although I'm not on top of all of the quantities for pottery, I've definitely got a lot more than I've ever had, and I've got some other things that I didn't have on my list, which is very handy. The other thing I'm going to do, which I did not last time I did Finders Keepers, the time before that, so 2022, I actually did a whole heap of cute little upcycle vases that I painted. So I've actually got a few here, and I've just painted them with the sealer, the tile sealer. So I'm going to paint these and just put some dried flowers or preserved flowers in there and sell them for like $10 to $20. And then these are the linen prints that I'm working on. So I'm just going to get as many of those done as I can. So got my bookmarks this time around, which they are a low selling, like a low priced item, but I'll probably sell quite a few of those as well. So yeah, not as many big pottery items as I would have liked to have, but it's okay. It's going to be okay. I think, yeah, I'll see what I can get done in the next week and see if I can smash it out and get them in through the kiln in time. But with what I've got, it's much better than I've had before. So it still should be good. And I might even take some original art and try and sell a couple of bigger pieces, because, you know, you sell something for $600, that's a nice little income. But these guys on the wall, this one here, I'm going to paint over that deer and get rid of it and do the background like I've got with my art prints and cards, which I digitally added. And I might also do the same with that one, add in the cute little extra detail on the tablecloth that I've done digitally for the cards and art prints. And then I might take a couple of my smaller originals too. You just never know. And I do love this. I might get this reframed properly and take that as well. That's just in the cheap Kmart frame at the moment. I don't have money to spend heaps on framing, so we'll just see. I'm not going to get too excited. Also wanted to have my new collections of key rings ready for Finders Keepers, but it's not going to happen. I've only got this one done, and they take 3 to 4 weeks to come because they're manufactured in China, and we're 2 weeks out. So I think I've missed the boat with those ones. Instead, I'm just going to focus on getting the samples of all of my other designs that I'm doing in keychains and brooches in time for Life in Style, which is 3 weeks after Finders Keepers and is a trade show, so shop owners will be coming and purchasing for their stores. The other thing I'm a little bit annoyed about is my stickers. I'm out of stock of a couple, and I'm almost out of stock of all of these flower ones. And these went really well last time, but I just don't have the money to buy the stock at the moment. I'm still paying off my Life in Style trade show bill. I'm also having to buy samples for Life in Style. So I just I was gonna order just maybe 50 of each, but that's still a few $100s. So I think I'm just gonna take what I've got and try and sell more of the other designs that I've still got quite a few of. It's a little bit disappointing, but I don't want to spend more money to sell the new ones when I've got all of this stock sitting here. And some of them are quite popular, like the mushroom and the Love Snacks ones. They're quite popular as well. So try and clear some of the existing stock out before I have to go purchase new stock. Okay, same day as my previous little video, but I went home and got changed. I was supposed to have some meetings, but they cancelled, so I got in my tradie gear, went to Bunnings. I got some pieces of MDF cut because these are the shelves I'll be using for my Finders Keepers stall, but they're quite flimsy and I didn't want the pottery to be sitting on the metal with the holes in it. So I would prefer plywood because it looks much nicer, but it's double the price. So I just got some MDF, and this, I feel like this will work well. And I might just on the bottom shelf just put some bricks, like funky looking bricks, to help keep the weight heavy on the bottom, but also just to add a bit of, I don't know, it'll be cool. People aren't going to be looking on the bottom shelf for stuff. Yeah, so I've got so much to do. I've got to pack for the markets on the weekend, and then I have to go home because my girls have been looking after my dog all day. What I'm going to do is set up my stall in this corner. I've measured it, it will fit. It's 2 by 2, so it will fit and I can still get in and out of the door. I'm going to set all my shelves up. I might come back later on today and do that, and then I can start to get the visual, get my wall down. That's got all my Life and Style prep stuff on there. Get that off. I'm going to put some vintage sheets over it. So I'll move that over into the space and have all the 4 shelves and maybe this little shelf as well, and sort of start to get an idea. I don't know whether I'll get that done today. That might have to wait till Monday because I need to pack for the markets. I don't want to have to come back here because I'm probably going to crash and burn very soon since I was up at 2:30 this morning. Yeah, but I think it's going to work how I want it. And then I might just have things grouped in prices or collections. Just picked these adorable creations up from my firing service, and I am obsessed with that design. So I want to try and make a heap more of those tonight so that they dry over the weekend and I've got a chance of getting them fired in and ready in time. Like, look at that. How cute is that as a little set? Oh my gosh. Feeling good that I've got a plan, but I'm also feeling really overwhelmed. I've got so much to do, but I really like these. I think these shelves work well. So I'll go and get more on Monday because I don't have enough money today. Hopefully I sell heaps on the weekend at these 2 markets I'm doing. I'm doing Tookarook and Berwick now. I was only doing Berwick, but it's going to be a nice day tomorrow. But yeah, I just want to play with my Finders Keepers stall. Hey, it's now Monday, the 30th of June. I was at my studio all day today, but I was in meetings, so I couldn't actually do any Finders Keepers prep. I've just dropped my daughter off to an after school thing, and I've headed back because I want to do my mock-up, at least the shelves. I've got to get this configuration sorted in my head because I just can't stop thinking about it. I didn't make any extra pottery over the weekend because I had 2 markets and I was just so tired when I finished. So that really should be a higher priority than doing the configuration, but I just need to get the configuration sorted in my head so that I can move forward. I can't explain it. I just need to get it done. So we're going to get as much done. I've got an hour before I have to go pick makeup. So let's see if I can get it done. First things first, I need to move this wall, which means I need to get all the stuff off because that's more life and style stuff. And I can reset that up after finders keepers. Actually, that's the second thing. The first thing I need to do is actually clear this space and measure 2 meters by 2 meters. Okay, so we've got the wall in place. Now I haven't centered it within the 2 meters. I've kind of put it off to that side just because this is actually a great little storage thing. So I want to be able to get in there, which means I'll need a gap of about 20 to 30 centimeters just so I can poke in and get extra whatever I've got behind there. Now it's fun part. Obviously what I was trying to do was this Z configuration, which I keep seeing every time I'm on TikTok looking at, like, if a market stall setup video comes on my feed, it's all I'm seeing and everyone's saying how amazing it is. So I really wanted to try it for my finders keepers store because, you know, when you're spending nearly $2,000 on a stall, why wouldn't you just experiment? But it's not going to fit how I wanted it to. This would be, if I was using all 4 shelves, this would be the configuration, but I'm not going to have enough room to get through there. So what I need to do is either push this back or get rid of it and only have 3 shelves, which could actually work because then I can use more of the pegboard wall space for art, which I do want to have quite a bit of linen art on the wall. So I might try that and see what it looks like. Obviously I still have to get my MDF boards too. So this is what it would be like with the 3. I'm just not convinced that this is a solid plan, to be really honest with you. This is more open for people to walk in. However, then I don't have anywhere to stand with a little counter to pack orders and stuff, unless I had it like here in this corner where the heater is. But I'll be honest, I did that in 2022, kind of had the stall on that side and at the back and had my little counter here, and I did not do well that year. That was probably my worst year of all. So whether or not that had anything to do with it, I really want to try this Z setup, you know? Okay, so putting it back so it's like a Z shape. I wish I had a curtain so I could not see all the mess because it's distracting. This I feel like could work. So I could have my little stall here for when I need to sit down, which we know we will be needing to sit down. That's really taking us right up to the 2 meters. So I could just be sitting here. People are coming in this direction. Obviously my stall will go out to there and it would be very tempting to put another shelf there, but I really want to try the Z thing. Now here I could have a little, I was going to borrow one of the girls here their little counter, but it's not going to fit in that space. So what I could do is, I've got all this shelving. Oh, that'd fit perfectly. So this one is one of those ones where you've got the little joiner things and it's like kind of like Lego and you can build it to whatever you want. So what I could do is just build this out to be a little shelf system where I could keep my tissue or have it here. I've got to figure it out. I could have it so it's 2 deep. So I could literally have there and then have my tissue paper and everything stacked in there. I could have my float stacked in there And then I could have my big bags like down the bottom and my little bags that I use most of just hanging here. I think that could work actually quite well. And I could have my little sticker bags up there or even just here. Actually, I don't want to use that because I don't want to make it wobbly. So yeah, small bags up here. So then if I'm sitting, I can easily get to what I need and I can use that as a little wrapping station. I think I'll do that. I was just currently using the tall one, but I'm actually going to put that one at the front, and I'm going to, that gap there is bigger than this gap here. So I'm going to put my card stand in the top one of that, and that can be at the front, and then the stickers can sit on top as well, probably. And then because they're lesser price items, I don't mind them being out in the main sort of thing. Okay, playing around, then I could potentially have a big painting there. And then my signage, my Rondell Design signage on that side. I did want to have some other artwork though, unless I put that one there, or how I want to get some more linen prints done. That one would be too big because that's an original anyway. I don't want to take originals and them not sell and then I have to bring them home. That's just, oh, they potentially get wrecked. It's not fun. Or I could even get I reckon I could get my Rondell Designs logo, which I still have to remake, up there, just in the middle. I think I'm just going to use core flute so it's nice and light. I could literally just stick it and have it sitting above. That could work. Okay, I need to move this pottery off that small one so I can put that here and see how it's actually going to look. Then the other idea that I was thinking is getting some of my vintage tablecloths and sewing them together to put on the backdrop, but obviously then that impacts what I can use the pegboard for. And I don't know that it actually works. It might be too busy. And because I've got all these mushrooms and stuff, it's much more of a whimsical vibe, isn't it? I was thinking what I could do instead of using the pegboard is just get S-hooks and hang my little wall hangings over the top. But with the busyness of that, I feel like it really gets lost. I'm actually thinking if I just paint this white pegboard, like something like that dark aqua there, a bit more greeny than that, or like a nice olive or moss dark green, potentially just plain, so that the wall hangings pop, because that's just getting lost in that. Or I could just get a nice piece of linen, maybe from Spotlight, a nice like dark green or acry linen. I think that might be a better option because I don't want my pottery pieces getting lost in the background. Okay, I think I'm actually starting to get the vision. But now I have to go because I've got to pick up Meg, so I'll have to come back. I want to come back tonight, but I'll probably have to come back tomorrow, I think, because I need to go to Bunnings and get the rest of my MDF pieces cut. So yeah, I'm thinking I'm starting to like that. Definitely gonna have to do something with the back pegboard, unless I do just cover it with all my art. And no, I feel like it needs a dark color. So I'm gonna hang the little ceramic wall hangings will sit across there. There'll be some more art or linen prints here, or I might move that down and put some smaller ones up. Big ceramic pieces are going to be sitting here. Now that is because I feel like there'll be kids wanting to play with the fairy houses and stuff. So these aren't the sturdiest of shelving. If at least I've got the bigger stuff, it's far less likely to fall over just from a bit of a wobble. Yeah, so I'm gonna get, I love that. I think I need to get like one of those wooden like tree trunk slabs so it's more woodlandy. So I might make this area really woodlandy. So I've got the bigger fairy houses and mushrooms up here. They will wobble a bit, but I just don't want, if little kids are coming and touching, I just don't want them to have super easy access to the bigger ones and definitely not the big stuff. So I feel like that'll work. And then down here, I'm not sure what I'll put on that shelf. I'm probably not going to put much on the bottom shelf. Or maybe I can put the linen prints on little stands on the bottom shelves. Yeah, that might be a good idea. And then on this shelf here, I think this will be more the small vases. However, I am worried that I'm going to then knock this every time I'm doing something. So I'll just have to be really careful. Maybe I put the whales here with some bigger vases. Or my upcycled vases that I'm going to do. I don't know, I'm getting confused. But yeah, on the front here, we've got stickers We'll have greeting cards, bookmarks, art prints. I don't know where they're going. Potentially, I just use this one here that's absolutely on its last legs and put my art prints up here. That could work. That could work quite well, actually. I might do that. I wonder if it'll fit. I'm going to do that real quick before I leave. Yep, I think that works. It's not too tall. It's actually going to grab the attention there. Then I can just have my art prints, my greeting cards in there, bookmarks there, stickers here, some hangy things here. Whales will go maybe this shelf because it's a shorter shelf. The other vases here. Okay, it's coming together. I might even put a bunch of flowers here just for my decoration-y flowers that I usually use. This is what I usually use. Maybe. We'll see. Keep going. I'm going home. Hey, it's Tuesday night. I am back at the studio. I had gone to Bunnings and got a sample pot of this green. I also got a heap of samples. I don't like how it looks with the pegboard though. I just don't like it. So my daughter and I just went to Kmart to see if they had a linen sheet or something. We found this blanket for 20 bucks. And I love the texture, and it doesn't matter if I lose the pegboard use because I can hang everything from the top with S-hooks, all those cute vintage wall hooks. And I also just bought this that I had at home, which is a pink sheet. So I might just try both of those options and see how it looks on the back there. Firstly, we're not doing these either because I think I could feature my artwork there or one of my own pottery things, you know. So, okay, let's try this blanket. See what it looks like. I wish I had a hair tie. Why don't I have hair ties in my studio? I do love this green. I never used to like this green, but I'm really loving it now. All right, let's see. I just think the texture could be really nice. That could work quite well. And then I was thinking on the way here, I don't even know if you can stain MDF. I'm assuming you can. If I get a nice darker wood stain, so it's very foresty, I feel like that could look really good. And then I also got this pink card from Officeworks because what I thought I could do is just some little pink scallops and attach to the side that white there. So just cute little pink scallop shelves. The card's probably not going to look super professional, but I could always cut out some core flute. And I bought this counter, a fold-up counter, and it's just a bit too big here. It's going to be too squishy, so I think I'm going to go with the original plan of building my own little mini shelf with those. So my studio, you can barely move in it right now. And then look at that mushroom wall hanging pops off so much better against that. So does this. And then all I have to do is just get some S-hooks. Well, I've got S-hooks. And maybe those have the twine as the hangers anyway, but maybe just I've got some fishing line that I could use so you can't see that, or it just sits up higher. And then they can all hang from the top. I think that'll be sturdy enough because it's pegboard that would be fine. Oh, I think this is it. I'm just going to try the pink sheet as well, just in case. Okay, my linen prints are going to pop so nicely on that green, as are the wall hangings. Okay, now what I've just had the idea to do is, instead of making my little shelf to put my bags and tissue paper and stuff until, I think I'm just going to have this second one here. So that will take up the rest of my stall space. And that way it will be on the front, from the front, that will be more display. So I can put maybe some more bookmarks there or some artworks or some bigger pottery pieces at the top on this half, and then have my tissue paper just on the back half here. Then all of my bags can just be either hanging on here or slid in here. So I've got these cute, oh my God, it's literally like a maze in here. So if I get these guys, oh, I've got my enamel mugs too. just like put them there and have my bag sitting on that so it's easy to get to past these things. I can just put them in there like that so that they're not too much in my space here, because if I'm hanging them there, they're going to take up lots of room. They're going to fall. So if I've just got them all sitting nicely, different shelf for a different size, and then the tissue up the top just here, I think this is going to work much better. I just want to make sure that the pink is in a better fit, but I definitely think green is the way to go. Maybe I put the pink on the back of this one so you can't see my shelf with all my bags and stuff. And then what I can do is just put that pink sheet just behind there. That will make it look a bit cleaner. You won't see my packaging. I'll have a little hidey hole so I can leave my cash in there as well. Now the stall on this side is probably not going to love that, but I can probably put the sheet all the way down there so it's just a flat pink background on their stall. I don't know how their stall's going to look on that side of me, but that's just how it works. Like you got to set your stall up and make sure it looks good enough so that it doesn't matter what the neighbours are doing. But I think that looks super cute. And I headed back to Bunnings to get the rest of my MDF cut. I don't know if everyone realises that you can get your wood cut for free at Bunnings. And then I picked out a little stain colour for the shelves. I also then, after that, headed to Spotlight. So I'm on the hunt for some trim for my shelving, but I did see this cool frame, which was really reduced. So I thought that could be good for my drawing that I wanted to reframe. I had a look at lots of different trims. I was hoping to get a bigger rickrack like that one, but they didn't have a big one in the pink size. I got really overwhelmed by this point. I just didn't know which option I should go with. I looked at some polar fleece fabric. I thought that could be good. I could hand cut it. I got some wool. I got all different options. And then I started looking at potential props for the shelving, and I just was completely overwhelmed and spent way more money than I wanted to. Then it was back to the studio to stain my shelvings. I did this very unprofessionally, but it did the job, and I think it looks okay as long as you don't look too close to the shelves. Alrighty, so we're at the studio today. It's the Saturday before Finders Keepers. I had to move my shelving across to the edge because I actually would not get in and out of my studio. It is so messy. And I've got one of my clients who's in a wheelchair coming on Monday, so I actually need to pack this up so he can get to the table. I'd moved the configuration. This is not how it's going to be, but I just wanted to get a feel for how I'm going to do the shelf displays. I've finished staining my shelves. Not very professional, but they turned out so well. And then what I've decided to do for the little trim on the shelves, if I run out of time, I honestly feel like I can just leave it like that. It's going to be fine. But at Spotlight the other day, I got some felt and some other options, but I think I like this option the best. But there's a wind sheeter material that I'll just buy a meter of. It's a bit lighter pink. It's more sort of that vibe. And I'm going to just do that on all the shelves. Now you might think that's like too much, why bother? But I really do think that's just going to attract people into my stall. They'll be like, ooh, what's this? It's bright and colourful, which is definitely my brand. So I think I'll do that. And I've just realised that one there is not stained. I need to stain that one. Okay, that's fine. So I'm very happy with this shelf setup. I'm loving the fact that I've mostly done colour blocking. So colour blocking obviously is where you're grouping the same colours together. It's easier on the eye for people. I'm doing that up here. I'm kind of doing it there. And then obviously I'm not going to do that with the art prints or the greeting cards. I've got to put my stickers up still, but yeah. It'll just be easier on the eye, I think, for people. Okay, it's Tuesday, week of Finders Keepers. I'm so fucking stressed today. I thought I was on top of everything. I don't currently feel on top of everything. I've got a lot to do. Right now, I'm just packing everything and I'm labeling them. I'm going to pack them into their groups that I'm going to display them because I feel like that'll be easier on setup. For example, I've just packed the fairy houses into 2 separate groups, which is lot 1. That's how many I'm going to put out, and then extras. And then I'm going to pack the mini mushrooms into one. And then for here, I'm going to try and pack all of this shelf together and then all of this shelf together. Obviously, if there's bigger items that need to go separately, that's fine. This shelf will be together apart from the bigger ones, which I'm going to wrap really carefully in their own thing. The bigger mushrooms I'll put separately, and then the mini mushrooms I'll put separately. Also taken a photo of exactly how I want everything to look, so when I get there and my brain is completely overwhelmed, I just have to look at my photos to know where everything's going. I have done that always for big events, and it just makes it so much easier because you find you're so stressed and the energy is so high that you'll just forget how you had your mock-up set up. So always take a photo so you can reference it in case you just have a blank and can't remember how you set anything up. Good morning. It's Wednesday before Finders Keepers. I was originally planning on getting up really early this morning, but I just was so overwhelmed and tired yesterday. I think I needed a little sleep in. And I had a look at my list last night of what I needed to do today, and I thought it's actually not as bad as I've got it in my head. So I was going to go to Kmart early and buy more containers and another collapsible roller like trolley thing. And then I thought I actually don't need it, because I can just use my pink suitcase for the rest of the pottery that didn't fit into the smaller containers. And I have just got to stain a couple more shelves, finish off some original art that just needed touching up, reframe the linen prints that I fixed up yesterday. So there is like a full day's work still, but I thought there's no point in freaking out and going early and not getting a proper night's sleep. So I'm having my coffee. It's about 8:40 a.m. and I'm going to go have a shower, and I will aim to be at the studio by about 9:30. I'm taking my dog today. I got her babysat yesterday because I just couldn't deal with her. But I don't think I have to like go to any shops today. I think I've got just to get everything done at the studio and no more running around buying anything extra, I don't think. So we'll see how today goes. Okay, so that is all beautifully packed. That will be the majority of my pottery. Then over here in this one, I've got the two big pieces, which will be sitting on the front seat with me. And then I'll probably slot in some of my linen prints to fill up that one. Okay, now I'm gonna pack down these shelves. Wednesday, 12 o'clock now. I still remaining calm. I just had a friend visit and she bought a couple of things, which was really cool, and it was great to chat to her. It's just got a few things on the go. I've just done some painting on that one, needs to dry. I need to do a bit more painting on that one. These linen prints are almost done. Just a little bit more on that one. This one is ready to be reframed. That one nearly is. I'm not freaking out too much that I've still got a lot of stuff. I'm just going to go through my little tick sheet on my notes app and mark off what I've done, so I feel like we've done some stuff. I think once I get these shelves packed down, I'll feel really good, and then I can start putting everything in that corner and not be in utter chaos in my studio. Baby's not being too whingy today, which is a very nice change. Very relieved to be getting my little wall hangings finished, just with their little beads and hangers, and priced. I was really struggling to price these. They do take quite a while to do, but you know, I didn't want to price them too high, but I didn't want to price them too cheap. So I've ended up going, that sort of one there is 28. And I've found these in my little jewelry hub that I generally use for my kids' art classes. And they kind of work really cute because they not only hold the bead on quite well, but they also just give it a bit of pop of color. The other ones I'm sticking to more natural. I did a heap of these beads, but I think they're a bit light for most of them. The light one looked silly on that, so I've just used the natural beads. And I've kind of separated them into prices. So these two little ones here are 25. The mushroom was the 28. This one will be 30. That size is 45, and then the back size they're all 65 because they're quite a bit more work on those ones. But yeah, I've got all these cute little beads, but they're not really looking great with the darker clay. They look fine with this clay, but not the darker clay. So that's okay. I just got home from my studio and my new sticker design was waiting for me. It's a little cute dash hound. So I will be launching these to Friday night at Finders Keepers Market in Melbourne, and then they'll go on my website next week. They're waterproof, UV proof, so perfect for water bottles, cars, anything. Oh. I headed back to the studio later afternoon and started working on my handmade signs. Okay, it's 10:30 Wednesday night. I've been working from the couch tonight, not painting. I've been cutting out all the little felt borders, the trim that I'm going to put on. I don't know what it was about felt, but my dog was obsessed. She kept trying to steal it, but it's done. Got, I think about 15 rows of this pink felt border. It looks weird because it's dark. The light here is not good. So I'll put them on with double-sided tape. I've also just cut out my core flute signs. The blue paint has chipped a bit at the sides, but I can fix that with a blue Posca pen tomorrow. I can't remember if I've got a dark blue Posca pen still. If not, I'll go grab one from Book Barn around the corner. I was all freaked out about doing the writing properly, but then I remembered it's literally just my writing, so I didn't even need to worry. I'll probably do another layer of the white Posca in the morning. I just want to let it dry properly. And that's just about it then. Then I've just got to go to Bunnings to get some screws and painting backing like hook things. The linen prints that I finished today, make sure that they're ready to hang. I think that's it. And then I just have to empty my car so that it's ready to load. But loading the car will be part of the next vlog. Good morning. It's Thursday morning, 8 o'clock. I just got to my studio because I'm going to start loading my car this morning. I'm pretty much done with the prep. So I'm going to end this vlog here. The only things I've got to do left still are just got to put some finishing touches onto my original painting that I've revamped, as well as that one. And then I've just got to put some wire backs on these linen prints, and then I'm done. My studio is just a disaster zone. What I've also got to do is make up some gift packs, because what I'm going to do is a collaboration with one of the other studio residents here, the Slow Stitch, who does these amazing reusable tea bags. So we thought that would be so cute as a little gift pack. So I got some gift boxes. I've just got to get some more stuffing for them. I might just put one of the tea bags up there so you can see what it is. But I just thought, how cute is that? Actually, Juz is the one who thought of it, who owns the Slow Stitch. She's like, we should do a collab with your enamel mugs. So I've got to make up a heap of those. Actually, I've only got to make up 12 because she only got 12 made. So I've got to do that still and finish off the art. But apart from that, we're pretty much done. That will end this vlog, and I'm going to immediately start filming the actual Finders Keepers market vlog, from loading the car to going and setting up, sharing how the weekend goes with sales. I'm so excited but also nervous. I can't wait to share the result with you. Thanks for watching. Please ask any questions you might have. I know this is a long one, so if you got through the whole thing, you're a legend.